Hey, as we get started on this, looking at some activities, I want to show you real quick. If you'll see, and I'm not going to even attempt to pronounce this guy's name, but Tim, he's one of the ones that if you, there's a bunch of videos that I linked where he did daily video talks over GeoGebra and the new apps and stuff that they've added onto. But I just want to show you this video clip that he posted on Facebook, demonstrating the capabilities of GeoGebra. And so again, if you'll look at that vase and what he does here, and I actually saw two different videos with this, and would you not think kids would think it was cool if they could design something like that, graphic in 3D? Just kind of amazing on that. There's another video, maybe it's this one. I thought it was the second one, but this one where, again, he shows you the starting. And again, looking at where that comes from. So I'm not going to play the whole video, but if you want to see the whole one, you can definitely look him up. Okay, so one of the things that you will notice when you get to looking at the programs, they were written by that Tim that I just showed you. So he's actually an excellent one. I follow him also on Twitter, and he is adding in constantly new apps and activities that he's done. So I'm going to start, again, I'm going to go ahead and click this remote template. It's one that I showed in the elementary ed videos, whether you've watched that or not. But I just want to look at in terms of the high school portion of it. And again, there's your whiteboard, your graph boards, your polar coordinates on there. I like that to me, the isometric paper and the drawing of that would be really cool. Probably will do a little quick video here. And the manipulatives, some of these, no, probably not for us. Maybe fraction circles, but definitely maybe the construction part of it, that would be awesome. The protractor, that one was pretty cool, so forth. So these are definitely, here's that surface revolution, 2D and 3D prisms and so forth. So we're going to take a little bit of time here and just look at some of these. So let's go ahead and just start with, I think I'm going to start with the isometric dot paper. So let's just start there. Okay, so I just opened up the isometric paper on there, and I'm just going to use the pen for right now and start in. So if we had, and I can show you maybe a picture. I was trying to download them here a few minutes ago, but I don't know how many of you had those, you know what they were called, they're blocks, all different shapes that you put them in and they form a cube. I know they had a name to them, but I can't remember. Anyway, I had an old set of them. Matter of fact, I had 2 or 3 sets in different colors that the kids, there wasn't a whole set. And so I would have the kids have to draw those. Or I would have them I had a bucket of cubes in all different colors, plastic cubes, and I would just stack them in all different orders, try to use all the different colors. And then that's what I would have the kids, when we got to this, draw this on the isometric paper and look at the orthographic views, top, side, front, and back, so forth. And had to show that. If I can get my site to open, I think I can show you some examples here in just a minute. But I'm going to go ahead and just look, if I was a student wanting to, well, my pen's sorry, everything's going kind of slow-mo here. But if I wanted to have them draw maybe see, I'm really bad here, a cube, but students would be in the same boat if I wanted them to draw. And then, of course, we can talk about how to come up and over, whoa, and down, and so forth. And now I've got it where I can't see what I'm doing here. Then you'd have to go back in again and take out what you didn't want. But, and I always, you know, I'm old, I'll admit it. My eyes are starting to go crazy. And some of these, especially when the kids are doing their isometric paper, and then I get this and I like think that just looks like a hexagon with, until they go through and they take out their pieces to it.
A new station alert has arrived.
So what I didn't find on here was like an eraser key. And maybe I'm missing that somewhere. So to me, that would make that a little bit harder because I would need to erase out my pictures. So I don't know if the kids, if they could visualize it when they were drawing it, as to, you know, okay, I know I'm going to see here, and I know I'm going to see this piece here at the bottom, and then go from there. Well, I'll see the back side. Like I said, I don't know, mine's delayed or something other. I'm not going to see the bottom, but I will see the top. So here's my side of my cube, and then I'm going to have this other side. And like I said, mine's not on the grid, so don't judge me, don't grade me on that, because I have been. But if you were having your kids again and assigning this as a like what I showed you with the elementary, and assigning it as an activity, a create class with this, so that you could go back to your profile page and see what everybody was doing, then you know, that would be pretty cool to see everybody's pictures as they were drawing them and see how creative they were. So, you know, that to me, I think that would be cool. I think the kids would like it. The thing that I have not figured out is how to erase stuff, because I would need my eraser. Okay, so the next one I'm going to click on is the geometry construction. And what you're going to see here is it is basically what we were looking at earlier, just in the apps or in the remote learning activities on there. And so again, this would allow you to watch the kids instead of where you were in the classic, like what we were earlier. You could come here to the remote learning and again click on the create a class. And so when those kids were doing the activities that we were talking about earlier, then you could actually watch each one of them do it. And again, just like I showed you on some of the elementary, it does give 4 different tasks for the kids to work on. So on this one, on the construction part of it, if you were wanting to do some of your constructions on your intersections and lines and so forth, I think on one of them, I will just give you an example here. Let's suppose I wanted to do construction of maybe a perpendicular bisector. And let's see, we put it on the B in there. Okay. So I guess I should have drawn me a line to start off with. Let's see, get me a line through A and B. Well, I kind of got it kind of crooked there on that. And then, so I've got mine, and then I could come in with my other line. Oops, other line. And again, it's a little harder here. There we go. See if I can. There we go. And then so you have your perpendicular, I should say, not your perpendicular bisector. I didn't draw that very well, but anyway, you get the gist of what I'm talking about. Okay, so then we're going to look at the protractor. It's been a long day. And so again, same thing, create a class. You can see everybody's on there. And so we could use those same tools that we had earlier, my spinning wheel of death, and draw us an angle, and then you can move us around to measure whatever angle. So even if I did, let's say, my polygon from earlier, maybe looking at it in terms of this again, and now I want, forget to hit that button up there. How many times have I said that? Anyway, and then, oops, and then I can move this guy, I think, around, there we go, and put him where I need him, maybe. It's not very friendly there to use. Let's get him back down here, see if that will help. Well, I'm going to have to move my screen, I think, because I've got my, oh, there's the other thing I forgot to mention. Full screen, you can do that. That way the kids can see things a little better. Let me rotate this around. That's what I'm going to need to do. So I've got this on my screen, and I got to remember to touch the black knob on there anyway, and then we can rotate it around and line it up. So if you're, again, looking at technology, not wanting to share, they could measure this and then you could see it, so forth. So that's a pretty good thing to do. I think that would be a definite asset to measuring and drawing angles, or you could have them draw them and use the protractor, compass and protractor as you're doing your construction and your drawing and your measuring. Okay, so this one I haven't played with before, so let's just look at this. So I can adjust my length width on there to make it whatever I want, length, width, and height. My filling, so I can make it more open. That might help them to see area inside there. So that's pretty cool to be able to do that. Create a net. Now, is this not the most awesome thing on earth? Look at that. Oh my goodness, how it just folds out. That is cool. Okay, very, very cool. Let's see what else options. Oh, look at there. Now we're looking at the different pieces of it. That is very cool. I'm not teaching geometry this year, but I would definitely use this. To me, this is also excellent for lower grades, which I hadn't thought about that. Very cool. Very, very cool. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, the next one we'll look at, so that was rectangular prism we looked at. And then we've got the ruler. Of course, that's pretty basic, using measuring. And I thought it said that it changed it from, and again, the black key is where you're going to move things around. Okay, move it around. Now, on one of them, then you can move it directions. I thought you could change it to feet and inches, but this one down here does change the length of it to make it longer or shorter if you don't need it as long. So again, I think that is a very, very cool, but I do think you want the inches.